Amira Shah joins in to talk about that and more. Amira, great having you. It's been a while. Thank you so much for taking the time out. Did Mahakumbh have a role to play in this decision?
Of course, we always need the blessings of all the gods to.
Okay, that's a good one.
But UP is an amazing state. It's growing very fast, developing very quickly, and people of UP deserve to have the access to the best quality of diagnostics and the largest test menu. And we felt that by partnering with a leader from West UP, which is Scientific Pathology in Agra, it would create a great entry point for us, but also a great access for all people of UP for our 4,000 varieties of tests that we offer.
Okay. No, so yeah, I mean, what I meant was actually that what I meant by Mahakumbh was that if indeed we are going to see, an event at times triggers tourism residency in a big way, right? And it's a very populous state. So I wonder if this is the start of many things that you might do in that region as well, Amira.
No, you're absolutely right. Last year we decided that we are going to focus on UP and MP, in a big way. And we started 8 new labs in UP last year and about 80 collection centers. But obviously doing a greenfield rollout is one part of it. But we felt that if we could also get really great quality partnerships with ethical, good quality players, that would really be a great addition on top. So, this is definitely the start of what you'll see of us doing in North India, not just in UP. And we're very excited for, not only having core diagnostics with us, now a scientific pathology with us, and we'll keep building a string of pearls across North India that really helps us gain market share and be a meaningful, contributor in North India in the diagnostics industry.
Amira, hi, good morning. And great to speak with you as always. Just wanted some details on the acquisition. I'm seeing that the price ranges from 55 crores to 83 crores. That's quite a wide range. Just trying to get a sense of why such a wide range. Where do you think you'll end up at? And what is the kind of contribution you see to your top line? When does that start kicking in from?
So, this is a convertible structure with scientific pathology. And while we have signed the SHA now, it will close in another 20-30 days before the end of March. And 1st April, it will be effective. I guess before that, it will be effective in our books. We have a structure with them where we've said that, look, we are paying you 65 crores right now. We're valuing you at 100% for 65 crores. But based on your June 25 audited numbers, this number can either go up to 83 or it'll come down to 55. That's the range that the valuation can fall between. And therefore, we've given the range just to show the lower side and the upper side. But we are valuing it at 65 crores at the time of closing.
So 65 crores. So if your valuations come back to 55 crores, I mean, just how does that work out? And you've said 1st April onwards, it's on your books. What is the kind of contribution you see to revenue coming in?
It's the leading chain in Agra, but it's about 26 crores in revenue in the year 24-25, and it's a profitable entity. So, it will be a little bit higher than the Metropolis margin profile. So obviously that will get fully added into the 25-26 number, and obviously whatever growth that we see, from the base of 26 crores in the year 25-26. So while it's not adding anything very large into the revenue, but it is a great entry point. And, we've done this many times before, where we've acquired the leading player in a city, and then we've really grown them out, in a significant way over the next 5-10 years, across the entire region. And we're hoping to do the same thing with scientific pathology.
And Amira, hoping to do the same thing with some other players in other geographies as well, or maybe even in Uttar Pradesh. I mean, in a lot of European countries will say that Uttar Pradesh is larger than their own country too. So I wonder if there is space for more acquisitive moves in UP and MP and elsewhere.
So of course, I mean, I think across North India, there are some markets in which we believe that we would continue to like to get deeper. We're quite strong in Punjab, where, now, of course, in UP, we've made a great entry. We have a fair amount of business in Delhi, but, even markets like Haryana, Rajasthan, Uttaranchal, Uttarakhand, I mean, I think these are all markets in which we would love to, have, again, good entry points and grow from there. So certainly keeping our eyes open and continuing to watch, how we can incorporate the best quality of labs across India under the Metropolis umbrella.
All right. Amira, the other question is, the trend that has followed post-COVID, there was this COVID, ignore the COVID surge, but there is this uptick in diagnostic requirements. And then their competition came in from those online labs, etc. For a while, it was believed that would they eat into the market share of the incumbents, even if the organized market was only 15-20% as the case may be. Just trying to think, 5 years out, a lot of things would have gotten settled. How do you see a slightly longer term CAGR growth for a business like yours or others which are incumbents, if you will? And for you particularly, if it is slightly different than what the industry growth rate might be?
So even right now, I mean, if you see, we're actually growing a bit faster than our peers. So I'll speak for ourselves. We are quite excited about the next few years. The last 5 years has been a real roller coaster, right? Because we had COVID, then COVID came off. Also with Metropolis, we exited a lot of our institutional contracts very consciously. And while that is good for the long term, of course, it hits you in the short term. So, there's been a roller coaster ride for us as an organization last few years. But having said that, we've only gone stronger and stronger in terms of every aspect of the business. So I feel very confident with where we are and where we are going. To your point, I mean, I think there was a lot of new competitors that came in, a lot of people who felt, oh, this is a great, easy business, we can make money. And I think after coming in, many of them have realized what we always knew. It's very easy to enter this business. It's very hard to build a profitable business. Because you have to be really good at what you do. You have to have a right to win and an expertise. It's not a commoditized business, especially when you're taking care of really sick people. The doctors do care for the quality of result. Patients do care. And therefore, I feel the incumbents will grow stronger and stronger. Obviously, depending on each person's execution rigor and strategy, one will outpace the other. But overall, I think the incumbents will grow stronger. And I think the people who are doing business in the industry purely on a price basis, will have their own market, but that market will be, the tail end of the market, which doesn't necessarily need the best quality results. And we'll continue playing in the market of taking care of patients who genuinely want accurate results because, they're genuinely sick. So I think, there's enough place for everybody to play in the market. We're very excited about where we're.
Okay, Ameera, so just to round off that conversation, right? One is growth and one is profitable growth. And you're right that the last 5 years, there have been a few disruptions, including the COVID surge and the post-COVID, post that surge, a bit of a cool off. But when I look at numbers, even for a quality franchise like you, right? Top line is one thing. Operationally, your operating profits or bottom line, maybe because of the COVID thing and otherwise, the last 4 years, 5 years, you kind of come back now to the profit levels or the operating levels that used to be there. So my question is really that would you believe that now, henceforth, the next 5 years will be different? I mean, if there's a COVID surge or some other surge, God forbid, who knows? But otherwise, do you reckon that the operational growth or operational profit growth or EBITDA growth could actually be commensurate with what the top line growth might be for a business like yours over the next 5 years?
Actually, if you look at the last few years as well, the anecdote you gave about the last 3-4 years and the operating metrics not doing as well, if you actually separate out the core of the business, which is the B2C and the B2B, it's done very well. It's only dragged because of the institutional contracts that we chose to exit, like the government contracts we chose to exit, which caused a drag on the margin and on the revenue. But otherwise, if we had not chosen to exit those, we would have actually done 2% better. 1 or 2% better. Secondly, with the same time in the last 4 years, we've done an extremely accelerated lab expansion program. We've gone from 130 labs, which we were in 2020, to 210 or 220 labs right now. So we've really added 50% of lab capacity. And all of these are not going to break even in the first year. So the last 4 years, we've actually carried the dilution on the margin because of building out these labs. And obviously, they make losses the first year. And then they start to operationally break even. We are now at the end of our lab acceleration program and by this March 25, which only means that going forward, since we are not exiting any more contracts and since we're not now doing an accelerated lab expansion, it's very natural that the EBITDA margin will expand. So I think this was known to us in the last 4 years. It's not a surprise, but the fundamentals of the business remain very strong.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, so well noted. Thanks for that, explaining that piece as well, Ameera, and wishing you all the best for all the acquisitions and organic growth as well. Thanks for taking the time out and joining us today. That's Ameera Shah on the UP acquisition and a longer term growth potential as well.